everyone, and welcome to Immaculate Conception Monastery Church on this fifth Sunday of Lent. You know, a couple weeks ago, the retreat house next door to the parish, which has now been renamed after Passionist Father Thomas Berry, a couple weeks ago they had the retreat for the NYPD, a long tradition of them having the retreat here. And one of the speakers was Patty Ann McDonald, the wife of police officer Stephen McDonald, who was shot in Central Park by a 15-year-old and paralyzed from the neck down in the late 1980s. Many of you know that up until his death in 2017, Stephen McDonald spread the message of reconciliation to anyone who would listen, since he forgave the young man who shot him. When that young man was released from prison many years later, he died only a few days after in a motorcycle accident. And when the news got out that this man died, Stephen McDonald was speaking at a precinct in New York City, and reporters came to ask him to react about the death of his assailant. He was even asked if he was happy that the man died. And Stephen McDonald replied, "I forgave this man a long time ago, and today he died. I have no happiness that his life ended in such a tragic way, because this man was someone's son. He was someone's brother, and most of all, he was a child of God." No more questions were asked. Condemning ourselves and others is a massive problem in our society. We see it all the time. We saw it during the pandemic, condemning people for wearing or not wearing a mask, condemning people who voted for a certain candidate and not another. People of all different kinds of religions are being condemned around the world, including Christians, simply because of what they believe about God. What does condemning ourselves and others do? It basically takes life away and leaves us buried in our shame and separates us from God and one another. That's why we pray every time we receive the Eucharist, "Lord, I am not worthy that you should enter under my roof, but say the word, and my soul shall be healed." This weekend, the gospel of the woman caught in adultery. Jesus is asking the woman's accusers to examine their hearts, to look at this woman as God sees her with mercy. This exchange in the gospel tells us something about the quality of God. If our God is a God of life, would God prefer to cast stones at someone who needs renewal of life, like the adulterous woman in the gospel? She never even asked for mercy, but she was given new life by Jesus when he told her, "Neither do I condemn you. Go and sin no more." This fifth Sunday of Lent, my brothers and sisters, is always focused on Jesus' preoccupation with bringing new life where there is the threat of death in all its forms. Today's gospel points to this in a profound way. The story of the woman caught in adultery in the Gospel of John is one of the most vivid and famous stories in all the scriptures. It's a story that is simply simple, yet it speaks of a profound gift of God, namely God's mercy that is given to us in abundance. And anything that God gives us, we have to share it. This is Jesus' focus with a woman caught in adultery. He lets her know that she is good in the eyes of God, and seeing that she in turn would see herself and her goodness as well. That goodness that God saw in her would change her life. It would give her a new direction, a new energy. It would give her a life that was fulfilling and not steeped in shame and sin and despair. She would see the benefit of Isaiah's first reading. "See, I am about to do something new." Today, Jesus looks into our eyes He does not condemn. He does something new. And may what Jesus does bring us and others new life and new direction. We're called really to enter into this last Sunday of Lent with a craving for new life. That God will take away all that is dead in us so we can give to God what God has given to us, our life. This is Jesus' preoccupation with the woman caught in adultery. Neither do I condemn you. Go and sin no more. See, I do something new. My brothers and sisters, happy 5th week of Lent. May God bless you this week. And always remember, the Lord looks at us not with condemning eyes, but with eyes of mercy. God bless you. Have a very good week, and may the passion of Jesus Christ be always in our hearts.